Last question, I have to stop. Secondhand Rapture. Who came up with the album title?
I don't know. I think we were
going back and forth about a few things.
Yeah.
I sort of fell in love with the secondhand nature of it. Secondhand, I became quite obsessed with.
Why? And I liked the Rapture part from the very beginning. We wrote our first EP, the Go See It USA EP, on the weekend that the Rapture was supposed to happen in 2011. So, and there was that sort of, I don't know, I think we write best when when there's this sort of weird things are happening in the weather and the environment, and you feel like there's this sense of maybe impending doom or potential apocalypse, and I think we both sort of feed off that feeling of insecurity or in-betweenness, and so the idea of the Rapture really sort of encapsulated that for me, for us, I think.
And Secondhand for you?
Well, for Secondhand, for us was sort of a nod to our relationship to media and how we sort of like relate to music, and the idea of how we relate to the rapture, the crux or the core of an experience through our computer screen. And sort of through that process, you feel like you're open to everything, to all experiences, but you're completely removed. But through that removed mediation, you somehow feel closer to it. And so Secondhand Rapture felt like a nod to the two more major themes for us, which were media and weather, which aren't necessarily explicit in the lyrics, although you can find it there if you're looking for it.
You already mentioned the visuals. When do they come into a song? Is a song finished and then you think about the visuals, or is it something that...
Officials?
The visuals.
Oh, visuals. Yeah. Sorry.
I think we're both very visual people, and I think that the music's sort of cinematic in a way that I certainly have a visual relationship to it right off the bat as I'm writing it, but that doesn't necessarily become the visuals that we end up using in any way. I don't think we've never like talked about visuals for video and then written a song for that. But I think as we become better and better musicians and sort of start to experiment with different processes, one of the things we've been playing around with is describing an environment sonically and sort of creating a space. For me, at least, I'm challenging myself by creating a space in my mind and then trying to describe that through music. And so, yeah, there's absolutely that visual component to the writing process.
So, but that comes that is. Do you make the videos once the song is finished, or?
Well, usually, I think we live in a time when music now sort of can't live without the aid of a visual, and that was something we were sort of really excited to experiment with. And the music was done before we made a sort of visual accompaniment to it. But the sort of ethos and creative process for both developing the visuals and the music are very similar in that, we're interested in this mixed media and collage identity, and the music has that, I think, in that we really try and combine sort of unexpected sounds and genres and references to different time periods, and the visuals are very much the same. And in general, I think the visuals are a great extension of sort of our personalities and things that we're drawn to now, but things that we're also sort of nostalgic for. And we like to provide the viewer or listener with sort of a lot of information to digest. And I love that sort of by overstimulating someone, that they sort of have to put their own interpretation and spin on what they're viewing. And I think that's what's sort of beautiful about art in general, about how sort of people see different things in the music. And that sort of comes back to the very core of our relationship to the music, where Max and I also see something different in the music.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.